Well, Shemai everyone, I'm really delighted to be taking part in a YouTube hop this weekend with the UK Scrappy YouTubers Co-operative. We'll have to come up with an easier name to say. And we're looking at a bit of Pinspiration. So we're looking at our Pinterest boards to find a scrapbooking pin that really inspires us. And I'm going to use the sketch you saw at the beginning is one by Lauren Hender. And I'm using some Heidi Swap sprays here. As you can see, it's a bit speeded up. I don't usually work at a rate of knots like this. I think I'm using, the one is definitely peach, and I think the other one is salmon. In the one photo I'm going to use, I've got a peach colour top on. So I'm also going to put some splatters on then of Jen Hadfield gold spray. As you can see, I moved my photos to the side because otherwise it looked like I'd have gold pimples all over my face. So I'm just going to add a few more splatters because the sketch, or I should say the layout I'm being inspired by, has got lots of very pretty mixed media on. So I'm using basil marshmallow here because it takes mixed media really well. So I'm not quite done with the splatters yet, as you can see. So in a second I'm going to set that aside. In real life it's lovely and sparkly because the gold is really, really nice of Jen Hadfield. It's a really sort of glittery sort of gold, but I find you've got to be quite careful because it leaves like a little bit of an oily stain around it. So try not to do big blobs. Obviously that's the technical term. So I'm just mounting two photos here of myself and my husband, and I'm going to use this lovely perspective I should say from Bramble Fox, which says be a selfie, because this is when we discovered selfie sticks really. On the first one, the one I'm mounting now was when we were using our selfie stick on the first holiday, and we look like proper tourists. So I'm using some Jen Hadfield papers as well. I think it's the At Home range. I haven't got many of the papers, I just bought a few that I really liked, and I'm using some of the washi tape there, and I've got these little corner tags, like little photo tags here that I had in a kit I think, and they're a bit of a rose gold, and some of the embellishments in the Jen Hadfield kit are more rose gold than gold, so I'm just gonna add those on. The Lauren Hender layout had photo corners on her page, which made me think, I've got some of those hiding somewhere. And I'm just using some funky foam there to I never know if it's funky foam or fun foam, whichever one it is. I think funky sounds better. So I'm just using that to mat my photos, and I'm bringing the layout back to remind myself what I need to do. And I go to all the hassle of cutting out this lovely journaling card, and I'm looking back now and realise that I didn't actually use it. I love this piece of paper with all the words on. I've actually done another layout using these papers, which is why they've got pieces cut out. I also love this rainbow piece of paper, and then I've got the pink with a darker pink, and then the more peachy pink then with the gold hearts on. So it's all dry. It dried really quickly, which is fab, because I'm a little bit impatient and I just want to, and I'm the sort of person that keeps touching it and I think, oh, is that dry? No, it's not, because I've got all of my fingers. So I reapply it because obviously I've made a dent in it, especially Nouveau drops, and then I do exactly the same thing again. Sometimes I've literally got to step away from it. So I'm using some Tombow to stick my papers down with, because mixed media sometimes my double-sided tape doesn't stick very well. So I'm using some of these photo corners on these other pieces of paper as well, because if I end up putting one or two back in my stash, then I'll never use them again. So I'd rather use them up in one go. I'm a bit like that when I eat chocolate. There's no point leaving a couple of squares, so you might as well just eat it all in one go. And that's what I'm like with these photo corners. And once again, just adding some glue. And in case you're wondering, I meant to stick them at a wonky, jaunty sort of angle. So I'm just looking through some of the embellishments now. And although I loved that banner, I didn't want it all in one piece. So I actually used the two pieces. And I think that's the other thing, is don't be afraid to Frankenstein your embellishments. Cut them to pieces and do what you want with them. You haven't got to use them as they show. So I just wanted a bit of the foliage poking at the top. And then I'm on the Lauren Hender page. She's got lots and lots of words. So that's why I'm trying to sort of recreate here. And in the last layout I did, it was actually one for Scrap Academy, and I made my own cut file using my framelets. So the hearts that I've got from the paper are actually leftovers from a previous layout. So that's the lovely perspective there. Be your selfie. And I thought that was perfect. These photos are actually taken on different holidays, because if you notice, the one with my hair down, my face is slightly rounder there. Now this shows to me, obviously. So I'm just sort of laying it all out before I start to stick it down. And although I wanted the grateful, I didn't really want for today. So that's why when I stick this down now, I'm going to cover it. And then I'm just going to sort of slot these hearts behind. This layout came together really quickly, and I must be honest, because life is rather manic at the moment, even though school is finished for 6 weeks, I'm now labouring at our building site, so I've lost a little bit of my scrapbooking mojo. So sometimes looking through Pinterest and giving yourself a challenge really gives you a bit of a kickstart, and I did need this kickstart. And I've been meaning to scrapbook these photos for ages, and I've been desperate to use this title. So at least now I've achieved it both. So I went through, I've got a little bowl of embellishments that tend to be left over from each layout on my desk. So I went through there as well to see if there were any that suited. So I use a few of those up as well. As you can see, I'm still sort of flicking through. I like that blue one which says together, but I haven't got that colour blue on my page. Now, I had another, I think it was a cut apart piece there that I've just cut up, and I think it said we are family, but I wanted it to say we are grateful. So as you can see, I cut it all to pieces, and then I'm just sort of putting them back. Then I didn't want the two words above each other, I wanted them to sit next to the grateful part. So now I'm using some of the washi tape, and I'm just tearing it, and I realise that I'm off your screen, I'm sorry, and I'm just putting a little bit at the top and the bottom. Sometimes just by tearing it, it gives it a slightly different effect. It stops it looking quite so blocky. And with this perspective, I'm actually going to use some rolled up, I can't think what they're called, glue dots, sorry, because my glossy accents I think are set hard. So I need to poke about with a pin to see if I can get it to come back out. So I'm just using some glue dots rolled up, and it sticks these really well, and it doesn't sort of poke out the side then. Sometimes Tombow just isn't strong enough to hold it. I tend to use glossy accents. So as you can see, I'm just doing a last rifle through. I've got these leftover stickers from Cocoa Vanilla. I can't remember which collection it is, but anything that I've sort of finished, because I know that I finished all the papers of these, so I put all the stickers that were left then, it's midnight, I can see it now, in my scrapbooking box, just so I can dip in then and use them up. I just wanted to use this lovely rose gold washi tape, just to sort of, I find these clear stickers quite difficult to use, so by putting it on top of something, it makes it stand out a little bit more. And to be honest, I think that's pretty much coming to the end of it. So don't forget, please follow in the description box below and look at the other videos.